Hello everyone, welcome to the Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy, 27th November 2025. Before getting into the discussion, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't, please do subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time updates from the Academy. So coming to the topics for today's discussion, the first topic is Hayli Gubbi volcano. So we know that this volcano in the nation of Ethiopia became active after 12,000 years. And the next article is regarding the BIMSTEC. So recently the India hosted the 4th BIMSTEC expert meeting on maritime cooperation. And the next article is regarding the National Milk Day. So we know that every year November 26th is observed as National Milk Day to commemorate the birth anniversary of Dr. Varghese Kurian. And the next article is regarding the nutrition crisis in Melghat. So Melghat, it's a tribal dominated region in the Amaravati district of Maharashtra. And recently there was a petition filed in the Bombay High Court saying that there is a severe malnutrition in the Melghat region. And finally, we will be discussing some of the important prelims related topics in the Prelims Focus. If all set, let's begin the discussion with the first article. Why did Hayli Gubbi erupt now? The article is taken from The Hindu. So we know that on 25th November in the Afar province of Ethiopia, the residents heard a violent sound, an explosive sound. Initially, they thought that it was bombing, but then only they realized that the explosive sound came from a dormant volcano called Hayli Gubbi, which was remaining inactive for the last 12,000 years. So that means there was no eruption from this volcanic mountain in the Holocene epoch itself. And another major factor that brought this Hayli Gubbi eruption to a world attention, that was the nature of the eruption. So we have to understand that this Hayli Gubbi is a shield volcano, and we know that the shield volcanoes are known for what type of eruption? Gentle flow of the lava. That means without much explosion, the lava will come out of the vent and it will travel for a long distance. And what type of lava is present in the shield volcano? Usually basaltic lava, where the silica proportion will be very less. And coming to this Hayli Gubbi, like I mentioned, it is also a shield volcano and it is located in the Ertali volcanic range. So Ertali is another volcano present near the Hayli Gubbi, and both the Ertali and the Hayli Gubbi are located along the East African rift system. And you can see that this East African rift system is a region where the three plates are moving apart: African plate, Arabian plate, and the Somalian plate. So this plate movement, this tectonic dynamism in this region is one of the major reasons behind the volcanic activity in this region. And if you look carefully, we can see that this Ertali volcano and this Hayli Gubbi are located in the Afar Tri-junction. What is Afar Tri-junction? Afar Tri-junction or Afar Triangle or Afar Triple Junction is a region where the Arabian plate, African plate, and the Eurasian plate are meeting. And you have to understand that these three plates are moving apart at the rate of 0.4 to 0.6 inches per year, and that is one of the major reasons behind the volcanic activity in this region. And coming to the cause behind the eruption of the Hayli Gubbi after 12,000 years. So to understand about the cause behind the Hayli Gubbi eruption, we have to understand about the anatomy of the shield volcano. So we know that based on the landform formed by the lava or the volcanic eruption, we can classify the volcanic mountains into different types. We can see that there are caldera, that means depression type of volcano, which is formed as a result of sudden eruption, violent eruption of volcano. As a result, the mountain itself will be destroyed. As a result, a depression will be formed, and that type of volcano is known as caldera or a depression type of volcano. And the second type of volcano is the stratovolcano, which will be mostly having acidic type of lava. And in the case of shield volcano, this type of volcanoes are mostly found in the regions where the plates are moving apart. The plates are moving apart. So as a result, the magma will come out through the vent and it will move to all the direction, without creating much explosion. That is a usual anatomy of the shield volcano. But what made this Hayli Gubbi eruption more explosive? We will discuss the reason. So the anatomy of this Hayli Gubbi is also similar to this shield volcano. So how this, what is the reason behind the present eruption of this shield volcano? So the reason is the plate movement. So we have to understand that as of now the studies are going on. So these are the general reasons behind the eruption, the present eruption in the Hayli Gubbi. But now the studies are going on, so these are not conclusive. Maybe soon we will get the result of the Hayli Gubbi study. And as of now, the first major reason is the plate movement in this region. So we have to understand that the region, the Hayli Gubbi mountain is located in the Afar Tri-junction, which is known for the tectonic plate movement. And you can see that as the plates are moving apart, the hot mantle rock will rise and it will melt. As a result, the magma will be trapped in the chamber. And what happens over a period of time? That means we have to understand that the last eruption from this Hayli Gubbi occurred 12,000 years ago. So over thousands of years, this process is continuing. That means when the plates are moving apart, the mantle will rise. As a result, it will melt down partially, and the magma will be trapped in the mountain. And over a period of time, that means nearly thousands of years, this process is continuing and it is repeating. And as a result, in this there is a huge pressure inside the inside the mountain. So what happens when there is an opening or when there is a crack or fault? That time this pressurized gas rich magma will shoot up. So that is the reason as of now, that is considered as a reason behind the present eruption in the Hayli Gubbi. So what made this eruption more explosive? So we can see that most of the shield volcanoes will have basaltic lava. In the case of Hayli Gubbi also, the type of lava is basaltic, but it has certain contains. The first is trichyte and the second is rhyolite. What are those? These are rich, silica rich magma that can trap the gas. So when they reach the surface, when there is a fault or opening, when they reach the surface, they will erupt more violently. As a result, they will send huge amount of ashes and dust particles into the upper atmosphere. So as of now, we have to understand that instead of like I mentioned in the beginning, instead of releasing huge amount of lava, this Hayli Gubbi eruption released a huge amount of dust particles and ashes into the upper atmosphere, and that moved towards Yemen, that side. And we have to understand that this ashes and dust particles reached even up to the Indian subcontinent, and that is why India had to cancel certain flights from airports of Hyderabad and Delhi. And we can see that we are not able to witness any impact of this volcanic eruption from the Indian subcontinent through our naked eyes, because the ashes and dust particles released from this Hayli Gubbi reached the upper atmosphere. So there is a fear among the people that this volcanic ash can be a reason behind the air pollution in the upcoming days in this region. So these are the impact that we are expected as a result of the or that we are witnessing as a result of the Hayli Gubbi eruption. So in this topic, we discussed the present reason behind the Hayli Gubbi eruption and what made the Hayli Gubbi eruption more explosive, and also the impact. And also we discussed some of the basic facts about the Hayli Gubbi mountain. And coming to the prelims practice question. The question is, consider the following statements about Hayli Gubbi volcano in Ethiopia. Statement 1, it is a shield volcano located along the East African rift where the African and Arabian plates are diverging. Statement 2, the volcano's eruption are generally explosive because it is composed entirely of basaltic lava. See, the volcano's eruption are generally explosive because it is composed entirely of basaltic lava. This statement is incorrect, because we can see that even though the lava from the Hayli Gubbi is basaltic in nature, it has other particles. It has other compositions also. For example, the trichyte and rhyolite. These are silica rich magma. So it is not entirely composed of basaltic lava. So the statement 2 is incorrect, where the statement 1 is correct. So the correct answer is option A, 1 only. Let's check. Yes. With this, we will move to the next article. Fourth BIMSTEC expert group meeting on maritime security cooperation concludes in New Delhi. The article is taken from Press Information Bureau. So we know that recently the National Security Council Secretariat organized the fourth BIMSTEC expert group meeting on maritime security cooperation in the New Delhi from November 24 to 25. And the meeting was chaired by retired Vice Admiral Biswajit Dasgupta. So in this background, let us discuss more about this article. So first we'll start with the organization, that is BIMSTEC. So we know that the full form is Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. So it's a group of nations lying near the Bay of Bengal. And initially the name was BIMSTEC. That is Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand Economic Cooperation, and that was established on 6th June 1977 through the Bangkok Declaration. But later, nations like Bhutan, Myanmar and Nepal joined the organization, and now it is known as BIMSTEC. As of now, we have 7 nations in the BIMSTEC, and the headquarters is located in Dhaka in Bangladesh. And the summit, the BIMSTEC summit, will be held once in every 2 years. And the last summit was held in the year 2025, that is this year, and the meeting was hosted by the Thailand. That was the 6th BIMSTEC summit. And coming to the 7 pillars or 7 areas of cooperation. So the BIMSTEC is focusing on 7 areas of cooperation. It is also known as 7 pillars of BIMSTEC, and each pillar will be led by one nation. For example, the trade and investment by Bangladesh, environment and climate change by Bhutan, security by India, agriculture and food security by Myanmar, people to people contact by Nepal, science and technology and innovation by Sri Lanka, and connectivity by the Thailand. And coming to the fourth BIMSTEC expert group meeting on maritime security cooperation. So the meeting was organized to discuss themes like result-oriented initiatives, maritime security guidelines, humanitarian assistance, and disaster relief issues. So these are the major themes of the fourth BIMSTEC expert group meeting on maritime security cooperation. And what were the outcomes? The outcomes, the first is the adoption of guidelines related to maritime security threat, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief cooperation, and the standard procedure for cooperation between the agencies in BIMSTEC nations. And the next outcome was action plan and discussion. So it was focused on strengthening links between maritime law and law enforcement agencies, conducting joint maritime exercises near the in the near future, enhancing information sharing mechanism for better ensuring better law and order and security in the Bay of Bengal, collective response to maritime threats like piracy, oil spill, and other hazards, capacity building and capability enhancement through collaboration between the BIMSTEC nations. So, two major outcomes. First is the adoption of guidelines related to humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, maritime security threat, and establishing standard procedure for better coordination between the agencies of the nations. And the next major outcome was the discussion of action plans related to linking, strengthening the link between maritime agencies in different BIMSTEC nations, conducting joint exercises in the near future for better and efficient, ensuring better and efficient maritime security in the Bay of Bengal, for better information sharing, collective response to maritime threats like hazards and other issues like piracy, and also collaboration for better capacity building and capability enhancement. And what are the other major developments in BIMSTEC as of 2025? So like I mentioned in the beginning, the 6th BIMSTEC summit was held in Bangkok in April 2025, and the nations adopted the BIMSTEC Bangkok Vision 2030. And we can see that India announced certain initiatives like first BIMSTEC Games to be organized in 2027, and also India proposed another initiative, that is the BIMSTEC Traditional Music Festival. So the objective of both initiatives are nothing but enhancing the people-to-people connectivity. And also we can see that India also hosted events like BIMSTEC Aquatics Championship and Youth Summit in 2025. So these are the major initiatives taken in the 2025 6th BIMSTEC Summit. So coming to the prelims practice question, the question is, consider the following statements regarding 6th BIMSTEC Summit held in 2025. Statement 1, it was hosted by Thailand under the theme Prosperous, Resilient and Open BIMSTEC. Statement 2, the summit adopted BIMSTEC Vision 2030 roadmap to guide future regional cooperation. Statement 3, India announced initiatives including BODI and BIMSTEC Games 2027 during the summit. So from our discussion, we can see that Thailand hosted the 6th BIMSTEC Summit in Bangkok, and the theme was Prosperous, Resilient and Open BIMSTEC. So the statement 1 is correct. And coming to the statement 2, the summit adopted the BIMSTEC Vision 2030 roadmap, yes, to guide the future regional cooperation. So the statement 2 is also correct. And coming to the statement 3, India announced initiatives like BODI and BIMSTEC Games 2027 during the summit. So we discussed that India announced the BIMSTEC Games 2027 during the 6th BIMSTEC Summit. That is correct. And BODI, BIMSTEC for organized development of human resource infrastructure. So this initiative was also announced by India. So the statement 3 is also correct. So the correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Let's check. Yes. With this, we will move to the next article. National Milk Day. The article is taken from Press Information Bureau. So we know that every year 26th November is observed as National Milk Day to mark the birth anniversary of Dr. Verghese Kurian, the father of Indian White Revolution. So if you take the Indian dairy sector, so we know that the dairy sector as well as the agriculture sector is the backbone of the Indian economy since the ancient times. And if you take the case of India, we know that the cattle in India are always treated as a capital. But we have to note that when India got independence in 47, despite having a large cattle population, India was facing milk shortage. And we can see that not just milk shortage, even the shortage of food grains. So the Indian government requested to various superpowers like USA and USSR for food grains and milk. And we started taking our own initiatives since the 1950s. And the major breakthrough in the dairy sector came from with the establishment of Anand cooperative model. So we can see that through this cooperative model, the farmers will be taking the complete control over the production, and this has both two benefits. First, the milk production increased. Second, the farmers empowered. And you can see that later this Anand cooperative model. So we know about Amul, right? Anand Milk Union Limited. So this cooperative model was later adopted by various other states. Like it was established in the state of Gujarat, but later this Gujarat model was adopted by various other states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. For example, in the case of Kerala, they have Milma, and in Tamil Nadu they have Avin. So like that, this model was widely adopted across India. And the next was the formation of National Dairy Development Board under the chairmanship of Dr. Varghese Kurian. And you can see that in 1970, the major initiative was taken, that was the Operation Flood or White Revolution. So through this Operation Flood, we tremendously transformed the Indian dairy sector. So for example, we eliminated the middleman, and through this we directly connected the producer with the consumer. And we can see that we empowered the farmers through providing credit facility, infrastructure development, and also we took initiatives to enhance the strength and the health of the cattle. So through this Operation Flood, we tremendously transformed the Indian dairy sector, and India became the world's largest milk producing country. And you can see that if you take the case of the last 1 decade, we can see a massive increase in the milk production in India. So the milk output rose from 146.3 million tons to 239.3 million tons within 1 decade. And the per capita availability of the milk also got increased from 124 gram per day to 471 gram per day. And if you take the livestock growth, India currently has 303 million bovines, and the bovine productivity in India has also increased by 27.39%. It is the highest in the world. And coming to the key initiatives taken by the government to enhance the dairy sector, the first major initiative is the Rashtriya Gokul Mission, which is focusing on preserving and improving the indigenous cattle breeds. And you can see that through this the initiatives under the Gokul Mission is focusing on semen stations, artificial insemination of cattle, sex sorted semen, breed improvement. And you can see that indigenous cow milk output grew from 29 million tons to 59 million tons through this Rashtriya Gokul Mission. So the Gokul Mission is focusing on improving and preserving the indigenous cow breeds. And you can see that approximately 92 million animals benefited from the Rashtriya Gokul Mission. And the next major initiative is National Program for Dairy Development. So this program is focusing on infrastructure development, quality testing, chilling facilities, and the marketing of dairy products. And what are the achievements that we achieved through this national program? We established or revived nearly 30,000 plus dairy societies across the country. We added nearly 70 lakh plus new milk producers into the Indian dairy sector. And we established nearly 60,000 plus village milk testing lab, and also 6,000 bulk milk coolers for the safe preservation of the milk products. And also we inaugurated several large dairy plants in Mehsana, Indore, Bhilwara and Karimnagar. And coming to the role of women in the Indian dairy sector. So we have to understand that nearly 70% of the workforce in the Indian dairy sector are contributed by the women. And recently the Srija MPO, so it's a women-led cooperative working from the Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh. So they won the International Dairy Federation Innovation Award. And as per the present estimation, India has nearly 48,000 plus women-led cooperatives. And coming to the White Revolution 2.0, so the period is 2024 to 29. So 5 years. So what is this White Revolution 2.0? So it's a major 5-year dairy transformation program aiming to create 75,000 new dairy cooperatives across the country, and also strengthening the existing 46,000 dairy societies. And also the objective is increasing the cooperative milk procurement to 1,007 lakh kg per day. And it also aiming to promote sustainability, biofertilizers, biogas and the circular economy in the Indian dairy sector. And coming to the India's future outlook, so we can see that from a milk deficit nation to the top milk producing country. So India is expected to supply nearly 32% of global milk in 2025 to 26. That is around 242 million tons. and the target is to increase the processing capacity to 100 million liters per day by 2028 to 29. And currently the government is focusing on nationwide vaccination to eradicate foot and mouth disease and also brucellosis by 2030. So these are the future plans or and estimations that we have about the Indian dairy sector. And coming to the mains practice question, the question is, the dairy sector in India is described as a significant vehicle for inclusive and gender responsive growth. Analyze how recent policy reforms including GST rationalization, expansion of dairy cooperatives and women-led producer organization contribute to rural livelihood and gender empowerment. What further steps are needed to ensure equitable growth? So it's a 15 marks question and you have to write around 250 words. You can write the answer and you can post it in the comment section. We will review and we will reply for your answer. Now it's time to move to the next article. Why do infant death persist in the tribal dominated Melghat? The article is taken from The Hindu. So recently the Bombay High Court criticized both Maharashtra as well as the union government for being extremely casual about the high infant death rate in the Melghat region of the Amaravati district in the state of Maharashtra. So not that it is a tribal dominated region, that means it is a home to Korku tribe, and they are facing a lot of problems from poverty, malnutrition, employment issues, and poor connectivity, and also weak infrastructure, health infrastructure. So a recent petition filed in the Bombay High Court reported that nearly 56 infants between the age of 1 to 6 months lost their life due to malnutrition between June 2025 and November 2025. And the report also, the petition also reported that nearly 200 plus children in this region are under severe acute malnutrition, and half of them may die soon if they are not able to receive immediate help. So we can see that in the recent time we have achieved a lot of achievements in the public health. For example, we have eliminated a lot of infection and disease which were once a public health concern, for example trachoma, polio and all. And recently we found that we reported that India successfully reduced the maternal mortality to 100 per lakh. So we have all these achievements, but on other side, in isolated regions of India, the situation is still same as old. For example, the Melghat is suffering from high infant and maternal mortality for the last 30 years despite having a lot of government interventions. And we can see that this is a home to Korku tribe, and the tribe is facing a lot of other problems, not just health problems. For example, they are under severe poverty, they are facing isolation from the mainstream of the society, and they are also having poor infrastructure, especially the poor connectivity and poor health infrastructure. And what are the recent findings that we can see from the data? For example, if we take the Amaravati Sila Parishad data, we can see that between April 2024 and March 2025, nearly 96 infants lost their life in this region. And in the last 7 months, nearly 61 infants died in this region because of health problems. And the officials are saying that the basic reason or the core reason behind this death rate is nothing but the malnutrition. But there are other problems, for example, anemia, sickle cell disease, which is mostly found in the tribal communities, pneumonia, delay in reaching hospitals due to the poor connectivity. And these are the major reasons. But the core reason behind all the death are nothing but the malnutrition. Coming to the scale of malnutrition in Maharashtra, so we can see that from, if you study this data, we can say that Maharashtra is still underperforming in ensuring nutrition to the children. For example, if you take the data from the Women and the Child Welfare Department, that is the data from the Portion Tracker, we can see that 1,82,443 children in the state are malnourished. And if you take the data from the Indian Institute of Population Science, we can see that nearly 35 children in the state of Maharashtra are stunted. That means they do not have proper height according to their age. And 35% of the children in the state of Maharashtra are facing the problem of underweight. That means they do not have a proper weight according to their height. And what are the challenges in this region? The first major challenge is the healthcare and infrastructure issues. For example, lack of proper road to reach the hospitals. So that is a major reason behind the infant as well as the maternal mortality rate. And the second is the poor electricity supply in the home. And the third is the shortage of primary health centers. So we can see that government or through some initiatives, there will be certain health centers in these type of isolated areas, but they are not properly managed. And absenteeism of doctor and staff. So we have to understand that the problem is not just related to health. The problem is isolation, poverty, lack of connectivity. So this all will create a type of a shock to the outsiders. So the doctors and the health workers from the outer part of the from this region will also face the same issue, and that is why abscondism of the doctors and health workers is a major challenge in this region, and also in maintaining the primary health center. And weak monitoring and poor coordination among different departments. For example, to solve the problem in this region, we need a proper coordination between the department of public work department and the healthcare department. So the lack of coordination will also worsen the condition. And the second major problem is the challenge is the social issues in this region. So we can see that what are the social issues? Poverty, unemployment, isolation from the mainstream. These are the major social issues. But the prevalence of high prevalence of substance abuse is also a major problem, because we can see that due to the substance abuse, the health of the people will be deteriorated, and if they are malnourished, then there is a possibility for the rapid deterioration of the health. And the next major issue is the intergenerational malnutrition. So due to this intergenerational malnutrition, when a mother enters into pregnancy, when a woman enters into pregnancy, she will be having a lot of problems, like she might be anemic, she might be facing malnutrition or deficiency of other micronutrients in their body. As a result, the newborn child will be having only less weight, and the newborn child will face other problems like delayed neurological development, and also immunity compromised issues and all. And the next major issue is the administrative problem, that is difficulty in finding and retaining pediatricians, gynecologists, and nurses. So like I mentioned, the region is having poor connectivity. It is facing isolation from the mainstream, and it is also having other problems. So in that case, the abscondism of the health workers is a common challenge in this region. And coming to the major initiatives for the tribal health. So in the government has brought the sickle cell anemia elimination mission, which is planning to eliminate the sickle cell anemia or the sickle cell disease by 2047. And we have the mission Indradhanush, which is working under the National Health Mission. So this is focusing on immunization of children and pregnant women. And then we have the Nikshaya Mitra initiative. That means it's a community, it's a initiative to fight the tuberculosis from the grassroots level. So under this Nikshaya Mitra initiative, there will be Nikshaya Mitras. That means volunteers who will be supporting from the ground level to fight the tuberculosis infection. And this mission is active especially in the tribal areas. And coming to the solutions. So what are the solutions that we can bring in the case of in the case of Melghat to solve the problems? The first is holistic healthcare development. That means a focus on continuous nutrition support for the mothers and children, strengthening the Anganwadi and health centers. So we know that the ICDS, that is Integrated Child Development Scheme. So through the scheme, the government is providing nutrition powder and other facilities. For example, regular monitoring of the health of the children and the mother. So such initiatives can be taken. For that, we have to strengthen the Anganwadi and the primary health centers, and hiring frontline workers with the nutrition and child care training. And the next is creating a care system where pregnant women receive regular checkup, children receive continuous nutrition, and mothers receive counseling on feeding practices. For example, in certain tribal communities, due to their belief and custom, they may not provide mother's milk to the baby. So we can see that the mother's milk plays a crucial role in providing nutrition to the babies at the early age. But in certain tribes, due to their belief and custom, they will not provide the mother's milk to the baby. So in such cases, we need to provide counseling to change their practices. So these are the initiatives that we can take. And the next major initiative is the focusing on better infrastructure. So we can see that the delay in reaching the hospital is one of the major reasons behind the mortality rate, especially the infant and maternal mortality rate. So ensuring better road facility, electricity supply, and reliable monitoring, especially for the better maintenance of the infrastructure. So in this topic, we discussed what is a major health crisis in the Melghat region of Amaravati in Maharashtra, and what are the initiatives that we can take to deal with the health crisis in the Melghat region, and also what are the government initiatives as we have in the present system focusing on the tribal health and well-being. So these are the major topics that we discussed in this article. So with this, we will discuss a mains practice question. The question is, tribal communities in India continue to face persistent health challenges despite multiple targeted government interventions. Discuss the major structural and socio-economic barriers affecting the tribal health outcomes. So this is a 15 marks question and you have to write around 250 words. Write the answer and post it in the comment section. We will review and we will reply for your answer. Now it's time to move to the next article. So coming to the prelims focus, the first topic is new Hoya species. So recently from Itanagar in Arunachal Pradesh, the researchers found a new plant species called Hoya dabudinensis, and they belong to the family Apocynaceae and the genus is Hoya. So they are flowering plants mostly found in the tropical forest, and they are mostly grown in the streamside trees where the biodiversity is very high. For example, Vijayanagar Valley near the Myanmar border or Namdaba National Park. And coming to the conservation status, the species is already categorized as critically endangered because only 3 to 4 plant individuals are known to exist in the wild. And the major threats are climate change and the shifting cultivation in this region. And coming to the next topic, International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. So every year, we know that every year November 25th is observed as International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, and this day was initiated by the United Nations General Assembly in 2000. And why this date was chosen? What is the significance of this November 25th? The date was chosen to honor the Mirabal sisters. So Mirabal sisters are 3 women political activists in the Dominican Republic, and they were brutally murdered by the Dominican Republican government in 1960. So to honor them, we are observing the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women on November 25th every year. And you can see that as a part of the day, we will be having 16 days of social activism to create awareness about the gender-based violence, and that includes social activities and awareness campaigns. And this campaign will run until the December 10th, that is until the Day of Human Rights. And the global theme for 2025 is the Unite to End Digital Violence Against all women and girls. So this year the focus is on the harassment and other problems faced by women on the online platforms or in the cyber world. And the next topic, global donor ranking. So recently the United Arab Emirates became the world's 3rd largest donor in 2025. So the nation contributed nearly 1.46 billion in the humanitarian aid, that is around 7% of the total global humanitarian aid. And the key beneficiaries from Arab Emirates are Palestine, Sudan, Syria, Ukraine and Afghanistan. And you can see that the aid was provided for food, medicine, for the nations which are suffering from disasters and other issues, and it will also support long-term objectives like healthcare, education, and infrastructure in the following countries. So coming to the prelims practice question, the question is Hoya dabudinensis is recently seen in news is a fish species found in the Arabian Sea, butterfly found in the Northeast India, new plant species belongs to large group of tropical flowering species, and option D, none of the above. So from our discussion, we can see that the correct answer is option C. So with this, we are coming to the conclusion for the prelims focus. With this, we are coming to the conclusion for today's current affair analysis. If you like the video, hit the like button, give your feedbacks as comments, and share this content with your friends. And before leaving this channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time updates from the academy. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice day.